On the edge of the North York moors lies the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
Thank you, madam.
With the help of his team...
That's rather a good fit.
I really like that piece.
What's wrong with you now, Pete? Look, spiders, they're not going to get you.
Angus has been running his auction house for more than a decade.
Bless you, Angus.
When he's not on his rostrum...
Right, that's it. I'm leaving my beloved Yorkshire.
He's clearing cluttered homes.
There's a lot of stuff in the loft. Obviously, I hoarded.
Finding unwanted items to go under his gavel.
You want us to take everything? Empty it.
If you think it's worthwhile taking.
That is fantastic. I love that.
Using his expert knowledge...
Oh, look at that.
He uncovers hidden gems...
Things I have to do for my job.
And discovers valuable heirlooms.
That is gorgeous. Do you ever think you were born in the wrong era?
Yes.
Back at the sale room, he turns these forgotten treasures...
At £600.
Wow. ...into incredible windfalls of cash. At the auction house, there's rarely a quiet moment.
That's one of about 5 bags in there of trophies.
I've got sports trophies.
Yeah.
As the team receive up to 100 calls a week about house clearances and receive around 30 visitors looking to sell their items.
Are you all right?
Yeah,
These are the pictures you rang about.
they are, yeah.
Up to 50% of these calls are from people looking to clear the possessions of a relative who's passed away.
They need help clearing those items or selling those family possessions on, and you know, it's always good to find new homes for them, and sometimes you get some specialist items or rare items. You know, our team back here that would make sure that those items get marketed to the right people and that we attract the right buyers. So it's always good when you get something a little bit different that you can get excited about and really shout about.
Today, Angus will be hoping to do just that as he's meeting fellow Yorkshire folk and siblings Glynis and Steve about their parents' very unusual collection.
They're called bowtop caravans, and it's basically an open cart with a roof of a circular shape.
I think there never wait out on the road, but they were used for church event days and village events.
Taking them is going to be a big job, and Angus will need some serious muscle power.
You all right, Pete?
Yep.
Good. We're going to get off. Me and Mark are going to get set off. Gets this Leyburn job, which is all these caravans. We've got low loader meters there. Obviously, we're going to need all of us to get them shifted.
Yeah.
If you want to get Nick and then follow us on.
All right,
You've got the address and everything, haven't you?
Yep.
Right, see you shortly.
All right.
It's an hour's drive to Bellaby, near Leyburn in North Yorkshire. Angus and Mark get a head start.
Nice trip over to the Dales. From the moors to the Dales, yeah. Is it an old farmhouse? Yeah, it's been the family home for a long time. Mum and Dad passed on, and the house is going on the market. They've got some interesting stuff, whole load of rocking horses. Were the collectors just for the love of it, or? Yeah, just enjoyed collecting, I think. And then they've got 4 boat-top horse-drawn caravans. Yeah. They should create a lot of interest, shouldn't they? They should do.
After losing their mum Joyce in 2004 and their dad Lewis 4 years ago, Steve and Glynis have decided it's time to clear their parents' collections from the family home in preparation for selling the house.
So we came to Bellaby in 1968. Mum and Dad, 4 children, and we've all grown up here and had lots of fun.
Since Father died, we've been coming here regularly. We've been sorting out their possessions, I suppose. Hello, Angus.
Hi, how are you doing? You all right? It's windy, isn't it?
It's a bit breezy today, yes, yeah.
Angus is keen to check out the caravans straight away.
Oh, wow. It's not often you see that many, is it?
Yeah, obviously not a lot been done to them in the last 20 years, to be honest. You know,
Yeah, so we're not sure what state they're in.
No.
Bowtop caravans, named after the shape of their roofs, originated in France and first came to the UK in the 1820s. Also known as Vardos, they were adopted as homes by the Romany travelling community.
And so they just developed a passion for them, did they? Or?
Mum was particularly drawn to sort of like a romantic lifestyle of being able to travel the open road.
Yeah.
You know, like you're reading your storybooks.
Mum had a particular interest in the Romany way of life. Young children came to her school many years ago, and only for a fleeting bit of education before they moved on to the next town. And so that sort of spurred this little idea of a collection.
Well, it's not every day we come and get this.
This is a true barn find.
It is, absolutely. We don't get those very often, and there's a lot of people that will be interested in these for a variety of reasons. There'll be people that will want to restore them and use them with horses, some that will want them as a bit of a novelty to sit in the garden, some that might do them up and make them into sort of a shepherd's hut style accommodation. It's great to have something a bit different, isn't it? I'll grab Mark, and I think we'll have a good look round them and see how we're fixed for getting them shifted.
It's going to be a mammoth task to shift the wagons. Fortunately, Angus has already called in the cavalry, or in this case, a man with a low-loader truck.
Hello there. Right, we'll start pulling these out. We'll have some more left there.
They load the first 2 caravans.
That's it. This has got traditional wooden spoked wheels, which is lovely. It's better, but they're rotten. You've got a chance that this might just fall to bits.
But they'll need Pete and Nick's help for the others. While waiting for them to arrive, Angus checks out the inside of the home.
Nice house.
Yeah, lovely, isn't
Yes,
it?
Always been the family home.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then obviously the family's grown up and moved away, and
Yeah.
but you know, mother and father stayed here, and grandchildren came back, and this was part of their playground as they grew up. You know, so,
and lots of things for them to enjoy.
and as you can see,
Yeah.
a lot of collections.
Lots of rocking horses, I'm sure
Yes.
they've been on there.
Well, there's rocking horses here. There's some more in the bedroom over there, and
There's one in that room as well.
so it's you know, it's time to see them move on, and some other children, which is what Dad would have wanted, and
Yeah.
Mum would have wanted.
The first rocking horse we had came from somewhere called St Andrews.
That was the one we
It's-
played on.
And then this just collect another rocking horse and another one and another one.
That's right.
Because rocking horses are fun.
The whole collection revolves around childhood, I guess, really. Both Mum and Dad were never happier than when they had the house full of the grandchildren or
Any children, really.
as well.
They just love to have people enjoying the things that,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that they liked.
Yeah.
The dapple grey rocking horse. I think it was a favourite of Queen Victoria's, was
It was, yeah.
So the fashion sort of came off the back of that. I mean, there's a lot of rocking horses. There's some good early ones. There's probably some that are possibly Georgian in date. Certainly a lot of Victorian ones in there, really good ones. What an interesting job.
Loading the rocking horses will have to wait, though, as Pete and Nick have finally arrived and they're ready to attack the caravans.
1, 2, 3.
Are we clear? Yeah. Come on, boy, giddy up. Yep.
That's an impressive load. Looks good.
With the wagons on their way back to Kirby Moorside, Pete turns his attention to the 30 rocking horses and other childhood toys.
A moving house.
While Angus does a final check for any hidden treasure in the outbuildings.
Things I have to do for my job. You've got to look in places like this because quite often this is where the gems are. Oh, would you look at them?
Angus spies what looks like a pair of huge golden candlesticks.
Some giltwood gesso, which is this sort of gilt work on the wood there. And they're a bit damaged, but you know what? Those two are saleable.
There are bigger things up here too.
Oh, wow. Normally I wouldn't get excited about a piano, but this isn't an ordinary piano. This is something quite special. sort of street piano. So this, you know, would have been transported along and entertain people. So this all comes out. We've got a maker's name there, Heath Powse and Co. Limited, London. He was piano maker and street piano maker. And you've got this big barrel here with all these little metal pegs on it, and that's basically the tune. And you'd wind that up and it would go off these, and there's 10 different songs on it. I'm sure you'd be able to get it playing again with a little bit of TLC. Hopefully we'll have a merry tune to dance to on sale day.
That piano is a great find. What else can Angus unearth in here?
Boy, we've got some interesting things today. We've got this, it's a dog cart.
Looks like a pile of green firewood to me, Angus.
Okay, a little bit rotten. Dogs would have pulled this, not horses, so it's very small. You could have used it taking bits to market or moving things about. And, you know, the sides have gone, but somebody will buy that for the chassis.
He's good at spotting diamonds in the rough, is our Angus. Before the team can ride off into the sunset, or at least back to the auction house, Steve and Glynis take a new look at their family home.
It's all this space. Yeah, exactly. Where's all the space come from, yeah. Let's see how big the house is now it's empty.
It's just odd.
Yeah, it's different, I suppose. The house has always been full, it's always been crammed with these things, and now you see it empty.
Somebody will make use of all of those.
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully enjoy them.
With the van nearly full, it's time for the team to head back to Kirby Moorside and start preparing for a special sale.
When you've got a large collection of items all in the same genre, you create a sale, and that creates excitement. You have 4 caravans in, you have a street piano, you have a dog cart in, you have a collection of rocking horses. It becomes a wonderful collection that people travel to and they make the effort to go to. Not every job's like this. It's what makes the job interesting. Also makes it very challenging.
Back at the auction house, the 4 caravans have been offloaded and the team are in full swing processing the collections from today's clearance.
Proper little tricycle. That's unusual, I think, that.
Outdoor sales manager Mark is giving trainee cataloguer George a crash course in caravans.
Well, they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah. Now then, just notice something. Watch. The door on this one goes outwards.
Yeah.
Let me show you the other one. So the door on that one goes outwards, and the door on this one goes inwards. So that's telling us that this is actually an Irish caravan. If it opens outwards, you're letting all the look out. So they keep the look in by the door going inwards.
A proper fountain of knowledge is our Mark.
Every time I went back upstairs, there was another horse waiting for me.
With a fortnight until the auction, items from the clearance need to be catalogued as soon as possible. Mark joins Charlotte to help with the 30 rocking horses.
So lot number 684, and it is the reproduction French-style rocking horse.
What makes it French?
Because it's on the wheels.
Yeah.
With it being, you know, like a little trike bicycle rather than the actual rocker.
So do you not have rocking horses in France?
They do have rocking horses, but they mainly favour the
style,
tricycle,
yeah.
that style, yeah.
It's very unusual. I've not seen one like this before. Yeah, they've been around forever, haven't they?
Yeah, ever since man sort of started riding horses, which is an awful long time ago. I think there's references in, you know, from Rome, the ancient Greeks.
Wow, yeah.
We've got a huge collection of rocking horses in today. Most of them are handmade, and they're made in pieces as well, so you wouldn't have a great big block of wood. As you can sometimes see, you can see the legs, which have been put onto the body.
There's no time to spare for Mark, as he has a whole herd of horses to get through before the auction catalogue is published. On the morning of their auction, Steve and Glynis have arrived in Kirby Moorside to see what the bidders make of their parents' unusual collections.
Hello.
Hi, Angus.
How's it going?
Yeah, good,
It's
good.
interesting, isn't it?
We've had a lot of viewers with the rocking horses. There's one or two that have got a lot of interest. I suppose the house looks a bit empty without them in the barn now.
It seems a bit strange, especially where the caravans were, because there's so much space.
Let's hope it all goes very well.
We've had loads of people viewing, loads of interest, but I don't know if that's going to translate to bids. I'm a little bit worried, but we've had nobody leave bids. I'm a little bit nervous.
Although he hasn't had any advance bids, news has spread of the specialist items in this auction and the sale room is filling up. There are 799 lots in today's auction and Angus is hoping there'll be many online bidders too. Monitoring those are Emma and Heather, while Sandy is on the phones and Jasper is on porter duty. Steve and Glynis have 60 lots in the auction, and Angus starts with the extensive rocking horse collection, beginning with a carved wood dapple grey horse with its original tack, the style favoured by Queen Victoria.
Where should be 95, 100, £100 I bid at, £100 it is, then at £100, 110, thank you, 110, 120, anywhere is it now? The dapple grey at £110, selling at 110.
Bought online by a local Yorkshire bidder.
Come here, yeah.
Next up, it's the Victorian tricycle horse, and Sandy has a phone bidder on the line.
Lovely thing there at 55, we're out at 55. £60.
And he's off.
At £60 at 65, 70, 70, 75, 75, 80, £80 it is, then at 80, £85 at £85. I'm going to go to the phone at £85 and 90 on the net, at 90, at £90 at 90.
The phone bidder's out. Now it's all online.
It is 110, thank you, 110. 120 is a nice number, isn't it? 120, thank you, at 120. You can have a little sip of tea while you think about it. 130, 140, gavels up, don't lose it. At 140 then, we're all done. 150, thank you. Lovely thing, isn't it? At 150 it is, then the gavel is up at £150. 150.
An online bidder wins it by a nose, and the tricycle horse is off to a new home in York. The horse sales keep on coming with a 19th century wooden horse figure.
At 110 it is then, at £110. I'm selling then at 110.
This one's off to a new owner in America. Next, an example of the classic horse on rocker design.
Fresh bid, 60. 60 it is, thank you, at £60. At 60, we're all done at 60.
This one's travelling down to Gloucestershire. Angus is on the home straight with 2 carved wood horse figurines.
At £48 it is then, at £48.
And with that, 17 horses are galloping off to new homes. Now it's the turn of the gilt candlesticks that Angus found in the barn loft. Lotted up with a carved oak panel, he suspects was once part of a Gothic-style hall chair. There's a lot of interest online.
30, 32, 35, 38, 42, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 100, 110, 120, 120, 130, 140. 140 it is, then at £140 it is. We're all done at £140, and I'm selling then 150, 160, 160. At 160, selling at 160.
The candlesticks will stay local, having been bought by a bidder just 7 miles up the road in Pickering. Angus moves on to the wooden dog cart.
£30 a bid at 30 it is, then at £30. At £30, 40. Internet now, 50, 55, £55. 60, 5, 70, 5, 80, 5, 90, 100. Thank you, sir. 100, 110, 120, sir. 120, 130, 140, sir. Thank you. At 130 it is then. Net bid at 130. Don't mistake it, the gavel's up. I'm selling that at 130.
Incredible! And I thought it was a useless pile of green firewood. Now it's time for the old street piano. But will the bidders be dancing to its tune? Angus doesn't think this should sell for less than 600, so sets a reserve.
£500 start me. At £500 for it. £400 start me then at £400, £400 at 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500, 520, 560, 580, 580, 600, anywhere is it now? At 580, it plays a lot of music for a penny. At 580, at £580, surely any advance now at 580.
The piano fails to meet its reserve, which means Angus will hold it back for another day. Hopefully the star attractions of the auction will fare better as Angus moves on to the 4 bowtop caravans. Traditionally, bowtop caravans were painted green for camouflage, so our loudly painted caravans have caused quite the stir. Potential bidders have come from far and wide. But will this mean big bids? Angus starts with the twin-door caravan.
£400 start me. Bid. £400 I bid at 400, 420, 420, 440, 440, 460, 480. 480. Internet bidder at 480, 500, 520, 520. At 520, 540. Anywhere is it now? Going to sell at 520, 40. Just inside. 560, 560. Quickly, last call. Room bid at 560.
Bought by local bidder Julie. Up next, the caravan without a canvas, originally bought from the famous Appleby Horse Fair.
This one's been specially done so you can put your own canvas on it.
Nice try, Angus.
£500 start me. 500, 540, 580, 600, 640, 680, 700, sir, 700, 740, 780, 800, sir.
It may not have a roof, but the bids are stacking up.
860, 880, 900, 900, 920 is it now? At 900, ladies bid seated at 900, 920 fresh bid, 920 new bidder, 940, 940, 960, 960, 980. At 960, we all done? At 960.
Not bad for a roofless caravan. Angus moves on to the blue caravan with the inward opening door, but will the luck of the Irish be with him?
1,000 and bid, thank you, on the net. At 1,000 and 50 is it now? 50 anywhere is it now? At £1,000, 50, thank you, madam. 1,050, room bid at 1,050. 1,100, thank you. 1,150, madam. We all done at 1,150. 1,200, they have just come in at 1,200. At 1,250 in the room. 1,300 internet bidder. I'm going to have to hurry you now to be fair to the room bidder. At 1,250 it is then. Gavels up at 1,250.
The superior condition of this caravan made it much more valuable to bidders.
Some better than you thought.
They have one more chance to bag a rarity, as it's time for the final lot, an open bowtop caravan with a fitted interior.
£700 it is then. 740, 800, 820, 900, 940, 1,050. You all done online? We're going to go to the phone. 1,100 online. 1,150, thank you. 1,200 on the net. 1,250, 1,250, 1,300. 1,350, yes? 1,350? 1,500, 1,550, thank you. We all done? Anybody else now? At 1,550 it is 1,600. 1,650. At 1,650 it is. Gavels up at 1,650.
Sold! The last caravan of the day. 3 of them bought by lucky yet determined bidder Julie.
We fell in love with these 3 beautiful gyps caravans. For the toddlers, that's going to be their little caravan. And then this is going to be for me, when I just feel like getting away from it all.
She seems delighted with her purchases, but will Stephen Glynis be happy with the money that Angus has made them today?
Well, gosh, created a bit of excitement.
Yeah, exhausted?
It's been a fascinating job, a little bit different. So in total, after our bits, you'll be taking home £4,789.
Wow.
Oh, well done. Good. Excellent. Yeah, yes, fine. Yeah, lovely.
I was a little bit nervous before the sale because we'd had a lot of interest and would that translate to bids. And actually on the caravans, I'm delighted they sold really well.
Running an auction house takes a huge team, and Angus is passionate about training new staff in all areas of the job.
Originally these would have been a transfer pattern, but this is very much printed.
Today, he's taking the newest member of the team, Jasper, out on his first clearance.
I'm going to test your packing skills today, Jasper.
Oh, of course.
Wrapping them really well. If you do a good job, you can do all Christmas presents.
Fantastic.
It's 70 miles south to Doncaster, where Angus and Jasper are set to encounter a fairy tale collection.
We're off to meet John, who sadly lost his wife, Pearl. Over 60 years married. They actually knew each other since they were 6.
Wow.
Which is quite incredible.
And how often do you hear that? Incredible.
But Pearl was a massive Beatrix Potter fan.
Yeah.
And collected loads of Beatrix Potter figures. and she was even a member of the Beatrix Potter Club.
There's a club?
Yeah, there's a club. Oh, it's very serious.
Wow.
They're heading to meet retired HGV driver John and his daughter Patricia. John lost his beloved wife Pearl a year ago.
Pearl and I were married for 61 years. We knew each other for 74 years because in 1946 we started school together at the same primary school. I had a big mop of ginger hair and Pearl had beautiful blonde ringlets. We got married and then the monster on my right arrived.
But you love me, really.
Pearl's passing has left a huge hole in John's life. He's hoping that Angus can help rehome some of her treasured collections and give him space in the house for when family might stay.
I can honestly say that Pearl was the only woman I ever loved. I miss her terribly.
Pearl's collection fills the cabinets downstairs and an entire spare room.
I want some nice furniture in there because things could come that Patricia needs to move back up.
There might be an odd bit in there that somebody needs to complete a collection. I think it's a good idea.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning, are you all right?
Morning, fine, thank you.
Good,
Yourself?
good. Very well, thank you.
Please, come in.
Thank you very much.
Right. Welcome.
Wow. A love of animals. What is it that we could have helped you with? You just wanting to have a big clear out?
Well, I want to clear everything out so as I can decorate. And if we're going to do that, all of this can go, and there will be somebody out there somewhere that will appreciate it.
Yeah, oh, there will be.
Because there is a lot more of this and also Mummy's stamp collection.
So your mum was a real collector, was she?
She was.
Yeah. I suppose I best go have a look at these stamps.
Right.
Wow, that is a lot of stamps.
That's a lot.
All labelled up and put in albums where they're all from.
She worked really hard on them.
Pearl started a stamp collection when she was a girl. Pearl put an awful lot of time into that. That room, I used to have to get permission to go into it. If Pearl was sat doing her stamps or something. Can I come in? No, get out.
What a collection. Well, I mean, the earlier ones generally actually fetch more money. This one looks interesting. GB Old. So let's see how old these are. This potentially is the better one, say. Oh, here's some nice earlier bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, some Edwardian bits, George V. A little bit of early Victorian. And it was sort of in the Victorian era that stamps started with the penny black. This is going to keep me busy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to earn your corner, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I suppose I best go get Jasper gathered up and we best make a start because we've got a fair bit of work to do. You right, Jasper?
Yeah.
We'll need some packing paper and some boxes.
Yeah.
There's a couple of cabinets of Beatrix Potter figures and then there's a load of stamps upstairs. I'll get the pack of paper.
Oh, it's heavier than you think.
Yeah, it is. The world of Beatrix Potter is a magical world and it's always captured the imaginations ever since the books were written and they were a huge success. And it started with, of course, Peter Rabbit, the naughty rabbit in the blue jacket. Now, the figures are all hugely collectible and they were all made under license and originally they were made by Bezic. So the early ones are Bezic and then they became to Royal Albert and then the modern ones and the ones that you see nowadays are Border Fine Arts. So these ones here are fairly modern, these are Border Fine Arts. Then we've got some Royal Albert ones, you know, so this goes back to, copyright there, 1992. So the older they are, generally more collectible and valuable. So some of these figures are A Bezic one could be £10 each, Royal Albert one, £5 to £10. You know, you can see why people fall in love with them. Well, there really is a mass of stamps. One of the interesting is, you know, some of these countries don't exist anymore, so they really are a snapshot in time. And it's just going through and seeing what we've got. It's the obscure items, and sometimes, you know, with stamps it can be something simple, like a misprint or something like that, that makes them slightly more valuable.
Angus is always hunting for rarities, and one stamp that every collector hopes to find is a penny black, the world's first adhesive stamp, issued for 1 year only in 1840 and bearing the image of Queen Victoria. An unused penny black sells for hundreds of thousands of pounds. I doubt there's one here, Angus, but you could get lucky.
There's a lot of first aid covers in here. So first aid covers are like a collector's pack, but the Royal Mail bring them out constantly, they still do, and this whole album is a special Olympics 2012 set, so, you know, that's quite a good one. We did quite well at that, didn't we?
With Jasper wrapping the last one of the 250 figurines, it's time to load up the van.
I know that's not you or me going up and down them stairs that fast.
No, I don't think I quite make it that speed.
At the end of a hard day's work for Angus and Jasper, the family home looks very different.
Oh my word. Oh, this is a shock.
Unbelievable.
Oh my word.
I didn't think it would look so bare. It's more than I expected. It looks a lot worse than I thought.
It's strange. No, it's not closure, because you can't close, but you have to move on. You can't stay treading water all the time. So it's a step forward, isn't it, Dad?
I will just live with it and might try to make the room better. And when we do make it better, we'll put some little memories in it.
Yeah.
I think it's hit John a little bit, actually, seeing empty shelves and, you know, seeing his wife's collection, Pearl's collection of, you know, over 60 years go. And so it will be hard for him, but it's good that he's got his daughter there to support him. And I really hope that we can do Pearl's collection justice, find some good new homes for it, and also get some good results for John.
Back at Kirby Moorside, Pete and Nick are helping Jasper unload the van.
How are we for space in there, floor space?
Not great floor space.
Right, well, we've got this box coming as soon as I can.
The collection includes 152 stamp albums, 126 Beatrix Potter books and 250 figurines, which all need to be lotted up and catalogued.
They do sell well.
Yeah, I've just seen a load more. Obviously, there's 5 more piles of it.
While the lads continue unloading, Angus wants to know if there's anything worth writing home about in Pearl's stamp collection.
You know, stamp collecting is huge, even to this day. Actually, within the last year, the world's most expensive stamp has been sold at auction. It's changed hands a few times over the years, but it's recently just sold for over £6 million for a stamp. One little stamp. It was an 1856, a British Ghanaian 1 cent magenta stamp. And Pearl's collection is vast. She's got stamps from every country you can think of. I've just got to flick through and make sure we're not missing that £6 million stamp.
Here's hoping. Meanwhile, on the sale room floor...
What are you doing then? Are you just lotting them up?
George and Charlotte are going through Pearl's Beatrix Potter collection.
I think that these ones are a lot more modern. I mean, that one there on the bottom says it's 2019. I think with the Beatrix Potter ones, what you really want to look out for is the Bezic ones.
Okay.
So some Bezic ones that have like a little gold stamp on the bottom.
Pearl also had several sets of Beatrix Potter books.
If you get the right books, they can make a lot of money.
I bet the first editions are worth quite a lot.
Yeah, you're probably laughing. But again, these are probably a bit more modern. But there's so many of them. It's such a big collection. I've split them up into these boxes, and I think I'll probably go between 40 and 60 on each of these.
George lots up the figures in sets according to their maker before they are photographed, described and uploaded to the online catalogue for the auction in 3 weeks' time. On the morning of their sale, John and Patricia have arrived to say goodbye to Pearl's huge collection.
Morning.
Morning.
Are we all right?
Yes, we're fine, thank you.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll be all right. A bit drizzly today, but we had quite a bit of interest in the stamps.
Have you?
Yes, yep.
Whoever cleaned those albums did a brilliant job.
To clean them.
Yeah, I know. He's done a good job as Jasper. Well, I'll let you have a look round and just shout if you need anything.
Pearl first started collecting stamps when she was a girl, and John was with her every step of the way.
I mean, it's her life, isn't it? Really, on a table.
Yeah.
But
A lot of years there.
I think it'll be quite tough for John and Patricia today because they're going to see Pearl's collection gone, and it'll look very different from what it did in the house to what it does in the sale room. And we've had a lot of stamp enthusiasts and collectors coming and viewing the stamps. We've had a lot of inquiries about the lots of Beatrix Potter books, so we're hoping they're going to sell well.
With 799 lots in today's auction, it's time to get cracking. Jasper has now donned his portering jacket for this sale, with Mark on the phone and Charlotte and Harriet taking online bids. Most bids usually come in online, but lots of potential bidders have turned up in person today. Is it a good sign? Pearl's pieces have been sorted into 71 lots, and Angus kicks off with a huge collection of Beatrix Potter memorabilia. First up, some of the Bezic figurines produced from 1948.
There's all sorts in there. Tabitha Twitchett, Miss Moppet. There we go. £40 a bid at 40. At £40 it is. 2, 2, 5, 5, 8. £48 at £48. At 48 it is. Then at 48.50. Anywhere is it now? We're all done. At 48.
It's a good start.
That's more than I thought they would.
Yeah.
They're followed by a set of musical figures made by Border Fine Arts, who produced them since 1987.
£30 start me again at £30 at 30, £30 at 30, 2, 2, 2, £32 at 32, 35, 35, 38.
This bidder's obviously a big Beatrix fan, and it's all between him and a bidder online.
42, £42 at £42 at 42, at £42.
Our determined room bidder edged out his competition. Over the next 30 minutes, Angus sells half of Pearl's figurines.
£30 straight in, thank you. £38 at £25.
Making John and Patricia £165. The other half failed to reach their reserve prices, so Angus will try and sell them another day. Hopefully, some of Pearl's other Beatrix Potter memorabilia will do well. Wedgwood first started producing this Beatrix Potter china in 1949 and still does so today.
30 bid. £30 a bid at 30 it is, then at £30 at 32.22. £32 at 32, 35, 35, 38, 40. £42 it is, then at £42. At £42 it is, then at £42.
Sold to another room bidder. Up next, a collection of hardback Beatrix Potter stories that also had a lot of interest online. But will that translate into bids?
These are quite early editions, these. There we go. Complete set there. £50 it is, then at 55. 60 at £60 at £60. The books are popular at 65. Fresh bid. 70 at 75. 80. £80 it is, then at £80. 85. £85, 85. 90. £90 it is, then at 90. 5. 100, thank you. At £100 we are at 110. At 110 it is, then at 110. 120. At 130. At £130 it is, then at 130. £140 for the books. 150, thank you. 150. 150 it is. 160. 160 at 160. At 160, don't miss out on these books. Lovely set. At 160, come out of a lovely Lifetimes collection. Gavel is up. Don't mistake it, I'm selling at 160.
That was the older ones.
Yeah.
It looks like some people are up for spending big cash on a reminder of their childhood. In this case, an online bidder in Tetbury. Angus moves on to Pearl's lovingly curated stamp collection.
Fantastic collection there. A lifetime's work here, there we go.
Beginning with 9 stamp albums from African nations.
£50 a bid at 50 it is, then at 50 at 55, 55, I've got 60, one more. 65 it is, then at 65.
Followed by 12 stamp albums from Asia, including China, Indonesia and Hong Kong.
70 bid, £70 at 70 at 75, 80, £80 at 80 at 85 it is, then at 85.
And finally, onto the first day covers. Pearl's 23 albums have been split into 2 lots.
12 albums of the British first day covers and stamps there. There we go, all the first day covers. A lot of interest in this lot. I can start at 100, 110, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 220, 220 it is. On commission at 220, 230. Commissions are all out in the room at 230. Any advance now? 240, 240, 250, 260, 270. Room bid at 270.
There's a bidding war between an online and a room bidder.
270 in the room, you're all hovering. 280, 290, thank you, sir.
But who will win?
300. Thank you very much, sir. At £300, at 300 it is then. Any advance at 320, sir?
He's still in.
Room bid at 320. You might have done it at 320. Thank you, sir. Look at that smile.
You're joking.
No joke, John. Those stamps delivered a great result. And there's more. Another 11 albums of first day covers.
A similar lot there. And I've got 150, 60, 70, 200. We're at £200, 210, 220 at 220, 230. Commissions out. 240, 240, 250, 280 it's up to. 290, 300, 320. At 320, room bid at 320. I'm selling then at 320.
The same gentleman wins again. He must be one big stamp fan.
Phil would have been pleased with that.
Yeah.
And with that, the auction is over, and the last of Pearl's stamp collection finds a new home.
I collected them as a kid. I've had a break of 50 years and then just retired and got to do something and just got interested in it again. I've got to sort through them to see if I've done a good deal or not.
He seems happy. How are John and Patricia?
Hello.
Hello.
I mean, the first day covers did really well, and there's a couple of local collectors that have gone home with plenty of the stamps.
You worked hard.
You did, you earned your coin today.
Well, today you'll be going away with £1,799.
That's more than I thought. Really, honestly.
It hasn't been done to raise
No,
money.
I know that. It was more a process, wasn't it? There's a few good results in there. You know, those Beatrix Potter books, they flew, and the stamp collectors were here in force as well. I think we've had a few good surprises, so I think they'll be going home happy.